Good morning, everyone. My name is Archana Anapumpankanan. You guys can call me Halen. This is uh, this is what my friends call me. And this presentation is visual programming of final project. And this project, I do it as an individual. So before we get into the explaining the network of the four effects of it, I want to dive into the presentation, the report I did, so you guys know that what kind of effects I do and what poems I choose, which is the mainly task bit at first to do the effects. Okay, so this is the first page of my presentation, and this is the title of Twilight Waves, which is according to the poems, of course, and final project, and we are from this class, visual programming session from FCM 2. Okay, this is about me, and you guys can see all the information about me, and I would say about me that I interested in Gothic aesthetic, which is, yeah, you guys already know what Gothic is, but for this one, I emotionally and surreal aspect of art, which is like I see art as the story behind of a meaning or emotion, which is I don't see art as like some random art, so just something like that. I see it as the story of it because I love that kind of art. So it's kinda that you can see the art and you can't see it in the real life. So the art explains the story a lot. Okay, that's about me. And let's dive into Dutch Designer project. And this is the 4 of the effects I'm doing. But before I go and explain this, I want to show you the poem first, so you guys know that why I make these effects. So the poem I choose is the Twilight Waves. As you guys can see, that poems we have Bahasa Melayu and English. So the reason I choose this poem because it's captured the peaceful emotional atmosphere during the twilight by using this image of ocean waves. In my vision, it reflects the natural beauty. So I chose this one because the natural beauty thing, because I can imagine that what kind of, like, okay, for example, I imagine I was at the ocean with the beautiful blue waves and the sunset, yellowish green sunset. So basically like that in my imagination. Like different people, different imagination, and this is what the imagination I just described it. So this is the poem, and let's back to this slide. So that's 4 effects I made in Touch Designer, which is the particle waves, secret light, sunset gradient, and sinking light. Okay, these 4 ideas I took from the paragraph. Yeah, I took it from the paragraph of a poem. So basically I choose from there, nothing more than that. And let's go to the mood board, and my mood board is kind of like not much inspiration that you guys might think of it, because I just picture like this one looks like an ocean waves, this one looks like sunset, and this one looks like a human picture, but actually I took it from the Touch Designer fad from the Google. There's something like I want to make it because it looks, for me the image looks like waves, but actually it's not. I just realized that's a human figurine of it. So yeah, this is my mood board and this is my explanation of it. So I don't waste my time reading this because I want to show you guys the networking part, which is the very important one. So let's go to design progress. Okay, so the first one I did is the particle waves. As you guys can see here, this particle wave here, I'm really proud of it because it looks interesting, and it took me a lot to do it, like literally a lot, but not like a lot, like not like days. It's like consuming times a lot, but I was explain it that why it's consuming times a lot. So I made it as the twilight, like series of twilight thing, because you know the twilight color is something like a star color of a space. It's something like that, which is like blue, red, not red, blue, purple, and pink. So something this kind of color combined to it and looks like this. Which is, I love it, by the way, because it looks like glitchy flowering particle. But I love it so much. So I'm proud of it. And this was circuit light, and this is basically you guys had learned, or one of your lecturers sent the exercise, which is from exercise 2. So basically I took it and I just modified it because it's circuit light that I can make it that way. So I choose that way to modify the RAM and the noise, which is from the noise. Okay, noise, and I modified the seed and the period one. So yeah. And third one is the sunset gradient. Okay, sunset gradient is actually kind of least my favorite. So this one I took from the poem. Everyone is take from the poem actually. So I already put highlighted here. Inspired by the poem imagery of kuning yang merah, yellowish red. So this part of it, which is I believe is from the first paragraph, which is I made it that way. So you guys can see it looks like yellowish red and slightly pink because I want to give it a touch up a bit. So it looks nice. And it's blended so well and it looks like a sun. If you know what I mean. That's why I name it as a sunset gradient. Okay, lastly is a sinking light. Okay, the sinking light is actually pretty simple, but because it's not pretty much a lot of work of it. So sinking light, I use it like a cool blue hues and slow. It's like a breathing radium. Something like you feel the breathing of the scenario of it in the poem. You guys can imagine that, like how feeling of it. So this is the last, and this is all the artwork screenshot. And okay, before that why I say is consuming a lot of time. Okay, I want to say this. I show my struggle to you guys. If you had experience, I had struggled the touch designer crush. Like I often get that a lot. Literally, like assignment 3 exercises, and this is one of the reason I couldn't do exercise 5 because it keeps crashing. For many times I tried, it's keep on crash, and at the moment I get it like pissed off of it. But this one I push forward because it's very important to me. So I don't know why it crashed because it says that your graphic something wrong with it, which is from NVIDIA, but I did it. I did adjust the graphic, everything, and I also install back the touch designer, and it's still the same. And yeah, that's one of my struggle. And other than that, my struggle for this one is not that much. Basically, it's only this touch designer crash, which is really exhausted my time and my mentality of the stress and all. But I already made it, which is I proud myself pushing for it, and you guys have to do that too because don't believe a failure. So we done the report presentation, and now I'm going to show you the final project of the networking all. So which is you guys going to see that everything I did. So you guys can see there's a crash autosave here, which is I just mentioned it just now. I had a hard time with that, but anyway, we already completed with it, so I get used to it. Okay, so this is the file that your lecturer will give to you, and we use this template to paste it all our work. And I put it all my works over here, but I don't open all because I'm afraid it's going to crash again. So I'm going to close all of it, and I'm going to show the first one of it, which is the particle waves. Okay, so particle waves, you guys can see here, there's a lot, but you guys will understand the progress if I show to you. Okay, the first one I touch with a line, transform particles null, which is this is the IOFO. We use camera, geometry, and lights, and also constant together with render and null, which is this one is the main. We have feedback level and transform too. So the reason I put down there because I want to screenshot it because it looks long if I put over here. So I put it down so it's easier. This one is the audio. Actually, I trying to put audio outside somewhere here because I want to test it from here, but I having struggle with it. So yeah, basically I just off the audio. And this is all of it. This is from I believe it's from the palette, I believe. I don't know, it's been a few days. Yeah, Blom is from the palette. I believe the Blom is from the palette. Yeah, so that actually this two is not in that, so let's remove that. Okay. The RAM, this is the where I adjust the colors, and look at that. If I choose color something like I choose this one to green, you can see the green effect over here, which is sick. But I put a blue, but even though my eyes is hurt, but I just do it for, you know, for the feeling. And that's pretty much it of the first one. Let's off this because I don't want FPS to be high, and I don't want touches and it's going to be crushed. Okay, this one, you guys, you might have learned from exercise 2 of it, but I modified the RAM and noise of it. And also here, basically, yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, the file is, I follow this resolution, so that should be okay with me. And you have a keyboard one, which is you press 1, it will glows. Yeah, I just blue because it's called secret light, so it's something like bluish white secret light, so I choose that one. And this is much about it. Okay, now let's go to my least favorite is the sunset gradient. So sunset gradient, it looks like this. As you guys can see, we have yellowish, we have red, we have pinkish. But that's a lot of progress for this. We have spire, which is I took it from, I used from SOP. Connect to the geo, and mainly, yeah, we need camera, geometry, and also RAM, constant, the blur, which is the main thing. This is all the progress, and I'm sorry if it looks complicated because on the wires, so you guys might feel complicated. So yeah, this is all the progress I did, and this is the output. Okay, done with the third one, the sunset gradient. Now we go to this one, the last one. Okay, the last one I say why is easy because you mainly using top only. Yeah, you just use top, and you also need a palette for the feedback edge and the blom, which is here. And basically, yeah, it's kind of easy ways to do. So yeah, basically much it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation and same to the lecture, and I see you in the next semester. Bye.